Hello again, everyone. Today we'll be working on the Pegboard toy once again. This time we'll be making the mallet. So the first part of the mallet will be the mallet head. So let's go ahead and start working on that. You need to first make a new part file, and then we'll go ahead and make a new sketch on the XY plane. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to make a rectangle starting on our origin point, and this rectangle is going to be 0.875 inches wide, tab, and 3 inches tall, enter. So 0.875 wide and 3 inches tall. Next we'll be drawing a couple of circles here. Place a circle somewhere around here and near the bottom as well. We want to make sure that these two circles are equal size. So we'll use the equals constraint. And we'll also be sure to dimension those two circles. Let's say 0.5 away from the top and 0.5 or half an inch away from the bottom. And if you want to, you can make them bigger or smaller. I want to leave them about this size. And finally, I'm going to trim up some of these lines, so I'm going to click X on the keyboard, or you can click Trim up here as well. Trim the outside circle and the inside line. Outside circle, inside line. Alright, our sketch is finished. We can go ahead and click Finish Sketch. Zoom out a little bit. Now instead of extruding, we're going to be revolving this one. So let's click Revolve. It's going to automatically select our profile or our 2D enclosed shape. We just need to pick an axis. So an axis is any line that we want it to revolve around. Now in this case, we want it to revolve around this axis right here, this red line. So click on that. It'll revolve around that axis. We'll have a mallet head. So let's go ahead and click Accept or OK. Alright, now if you want to, you can also go ahead and use chamfers. So we'll go to chamfer up here. And we'll make it 1/16. So we'll do 1 divided by 16. And then we'll go ahead and click on all the edges of our circles. And then click OK. And now we have a mallet head. Alright, the last thing we need to do with this mallet head before we finish is we need to make a hole for the stick, for the handle. So in order to do that, we need to make a work plane on the YZ plane. So we're going to go ahead and click on Plane. And we're going to go to Tangent to Surface and Parallel to Plane. We're going to go over here to the origin and click on the little plus sign, or you might have a drop down arrow. And we want to click on this YZ plane right here. Alright, and then we'll click on this rounded part. Alright, so now we've got our work plane. We can start a new 2D sketch. We'll click on that plane. And all we have to do here is make a point. So we'll place a point right there in the middle. Finish sketch, and there's our point. I'm going to go ahead and right click our work plane and make it invisible. So click Visibility. And then we're going to make a hole. Alright, and this hole needs to be exactly this. Alright, so here's our hole specifications. The first thing we want to do is make sure that we check this button right here. This is going to make a threaded screw, so it's going to have a place where we can screw in a handle. So it's going to have threads in it. And it takes a little bit to load up, so don't worry about that. You don't have to click it 4 or 5 times to make it load. It's just a lot of stuff is loading up. Alright, so there we go. We want the size to be 0.625. 0.625, so right there. Alright, our hole depth is going to be 0.625 as well. And our thread depth, oops, that would be our thread depth, sorry. Our thread depth is 0.625. Our hole depth is 0.875. Alright, and we should have everything that we need. So click OK. You can see inside of our hole, we've got threads in there, so that's what we want. Alright, so that's all we need for our mallet head. We can go ahead and save this as mallet head in our project files. Mallet head. Alright, good work. The next step we need to do is to make a mallet handle. So let's go ahead and make a new part. And this one's going to be fairly easy. We're going to make a new sketch on the XY plane with a circle. So the circle is going to be 5/8 in diameter. So 5 divided by 8 in diameter. That'll be about 0.625. Finish your sketch and extrude. And this mallet handle will be 8 inches long. So it's going to be the longest part that we've made so far. So 8 inches long. Alright, we're also going to go ahead and chamfer this part. So we'll go to chamfer. And the chamfer is going to be 0.625 on both ends. So do that end and also this end. Right, now it's not liking that. So it should be 0.0625. There we go, that's what we want. 0.0625. Then go ahead and press enter or OK. Have that nice chamfered end on the end. Alright, and then finally, we need to thread it. So let's go ahead and click thread right there. Now for the specification, we want to make sure that it's not full length. We want the length to be the same as what we had on the other one. So that's 0.625. Let's go ahead and write in 0.625. We'll make the offset 0.25. And then we're going to click on one of these ends. When we click on face, you can click on either of the ends, and there we go. Click apply, and there's our threaded part. And we should have 0.625 and 5/8 UNC. So that should be good. As long as you've got 0.625 in there for your specification, you're alright. Alright, click OK. We're going to go ahead and save this as mallet handle. Go ahead and save that as mallet handle. And then finally, to put this mallet together, we're going to make a new assembly. Let's go to new, assembly, and this one should be really easy. Alright, we're going to go ahead and go to place. We'll place our mallet handle and our mallet head. Okay. Click to place it and then press escape to drop it. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I ground this. So I'm going to click on the mallet head, right click and go to grounded. And now all we have to do is figure out a way to constrain this into this hole. Let's go to constrain. And we're going to try to use the insert tool this time. Let's click on insert. And we'll insert this side going into this head, just like that. Alright, pretty easy. I'll do that one more time, just so you can see it again. So constrain this end with the insert tool. Click on the threaded end to the threaded hole. Click apply, and you've got it. You've got a mallet head with a handle, right? So let's go ahead and save this as the mallet. And then we're going to be good with that. Save it. And the last thing we need to do is to import this into our final assembly. Alright, so in order to do that, zoom out a little bit. We'll go to place, and we'll find our mallet, open, and we can place that mallet in there with our assembly. There we go. We are finished with the pegboard toy, alright? Great job, and I'm sure yours looks very good. So let's go ahead and save the mallet assembly, the pegboard assembly one more time, and we are finished with this project. Great job.